outfit yang paling penting gitu dunia. Terus
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention? Bapak dan Ibu yang terhormat, mohon perhatiannya. Before we begin, I will explain rules of this press conference. The webcam is turned on and the audio speaker must be mute during the speaker session. Sebelum konferensi pers ini saya mulai, saya akan menjelaskan peraturan dari press conference ini. Web kamera berada dalam posisi menyala, serta audio speaker harap berada dalam posisi mute selama sesi pembicara. For the Q&A session, the media are suggested to use raise hand menu on Zoom, and the committee will select. Untuk sesi tanya jawab, rekan media diharapkan untuk menggunakan menu raise hand pada Zoom dan panitia akan memilih. The appointed media crew are welcome to introduce themselves and their company, along with their question briefly and to whom the question are addressed. Awak media yang telah ditunjuk dipersilahkan memperkenalkan diri dan perusahaannya beserta pertanyaan secara singkat serta kepada siapa pertanyaan dialamatkan. For the documentation purposes, this press conference will be recorded and will be live on YouTube. Demi kepentingan dokumentasi, konferensi pers ini akan direkam serta akan live di YouTube. The press conference will begin shortly.
Halo Alan. Hai, Vin.
Okay. The Honorable Mr. Yu Moffat, British Council Country Director to Indonesia, Prof. Alan Drew, Workshop Chair and Co-founder of NBRI, Prof. Evi Kartini, Founder of NBRI, and the Workshop Vice Chair, Distinguished Mentor, Professor Dr. Sir Colin Humphrey, Professor Dr. Elizabeth Tanner from Queen Mary University of London, Professor Dr. Insinyur Anne Zulfia from University of Indonesia, Professor Dr. Edwin Aldrian from BPPT, Media Partner, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat siang semua. Semoga kita semua senantiasa dalam keadaan sehat. Pertama-tama kami ingin mengucapkan selamat datang pada konferensi pers Climate Challenge Workshop. Workshop ini didanai oleh British Council dalam rangka menyambut COP26 yang akan berlangsung di Glasgow, United Kingdom. Pembicara pada kesempatan ini adalah Bapak Hugh Moffat, selaku British Council Country Director to Indonesia, Bapak Profesor Dr. Alan Drew, selaku Ketua Workshop dan juga Co-founder of NBRI, serta Profesor Dr. Evi Kartini, selaku Founder dan Wakil Ketua dari Workshop. Lalu izinkan saya memperkenalkan diri. Nama saya Muhammad Subhan, dan saya akan menjadi moderator untuk konferensi pers pada siang hari ini. Tanpa perlu lama-lama, kami persilahkan Bapak Hugh Moffat untuk memberikan kata sambutan. Mr. Hugh Moffat, the time is yours.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, that's me, Hugh Moffat from the British Council. I am finally in Jakarta in Indonesia. I've been working from the UK for some time. So, Prof. Evi, I look forward to meeting you sometime virtually or physically at some point when we can. But just to say, it's great to be here. This is a very exciting event. This is our first program in Indonesia as we run up to COP26 in Glasgow, which of course Glasgow, Scotland, November 2021, hosted in the UK, COP26. And the 5 themes that we know about: adaptation and resilience, ecosystems and natural habitats, energy transition, zero carbon road transport, finance, green energy, obviously energy transition is the key, and this program is really fitting that bill, and certainly as a program is something that I think will have a great impact both in Indonesia and in the UK. So a great opportunity to really engage young researchers in this next period with a very exciting challenge coming up. Just to check, I will carry on. I heard some background feed. Is that okay, Mohammed? Yep. Okay, I'll carry on. So in terms of the British Council supporting COP26, we're not a climate change specialist organisation, but what we do is we bring people together. And we've developed a programme called Climate Connection in support of COP26. And that very much is a focus on young people. And it's really about supporting COP26 around cooperation, dialogue, and action. And that's around our work, our core work of our work in education, in which we work with young people, we work in schools and universities, through English, where we use the English language to promote culture and arts and connections around the world, and through our arts work, of course. All these three areas are what we're looking to do to use and highlight the issues and challenges around COP26. And we will do that through programs which enable cooperation, dialogue, and action. So there are three areas over the next 6 months that we'll be focusing on, and those will be around discovery, again, content for schools, teachers and students to enable them to discuss the issues of climate change in the classroom. Sharing, the showcasing and collaboration, this kind of event that we're about to be talking about, the program that we have coming up, will enable that exchange of new ideas, and will exchange of the younger generation, young researchers coming through, and that challenge fund will enable that kind of innovation that we're so looking for. And the third area is around acting, again, profiling young people making that difference. So those three areas, discovery, sharing, acting, all of which are about our Climate Connection program. But for this program, what we're about to talk about, this is about collaboration. And this is about, again, supporting UK's commitment, which of course is to reduce, one of its commitments certainly, to reduce emissions by 78% by 2035. And we need new ways of doing that. But obviously the approach we currently have is not working, it's not enough in the UK, and we're not alone. Indonesia has its own challenges, and how do we then work together on those things? So this Researcher Links Climate Change Workshop is one example of that cooperation and leading up to COP26. And again, that's supporting that ambition of a cleaner world for all of us. The area that really excites us is the fact, the opportunity it's bringing to early career researchers. And we're one of a number of countries that are benefiting, or rather two countries, the UK and Indonesia. But in Indonesia, we found a huge interest for this program. So it's fantastic that the partners have come together to put this proposal for Indonesia. But clearly the interest is there in Indonesia, and obviously the skill and knowledge and experience is there to bring to bear. So it's great to see that interest from Indonesia. And if we think about this, I'm sure with the challenges we're going to hear more about from Prof. Evi and Prof. Alan, we will see just quite how, as the program develops, we'll see the opportunities and the numbers of organizations and individuals who are prepared to step up. So congratulations to the National Battery Research Institute and Queen Mary University of London. It's great that you've come together. Clearly, I suspect you know each other and have worked together, and this is a further continuation of a collaboration, which I'm looking forward to hearing about. But we've got world-renowned researchers in Prof. Evi, Prof. Drew together, as well as the team on both sides in both countries. And that will give real inspiration to those who engage and access. And this is, I think, again, that key, that the opportunity for early career researchers is really to access that expertise through those workshops, and that opportunity for mentorship, which again, that confidence building and bridge building that enables people to step up to that next level. And within this, there's of course access to a research prize and the opportunity for dissemination awards being critical. So we know the challenge of global economic growth and its impact on the climate is there, it's for all to see. And what we believe as the British Council is that knowledge exchange is the key, that education aspect of all of it. And with that knowledge and connection that we can help make through programs like this, we hope we can all make the difference that this planet definitely needs. So on that note, thank you very much to everyone involved. Congratulations to the partners for getting us this far. And I'm much more interested now in hearing from them about what we're going to do next. But I'm looking forward to the next step. Congratulations, and look forward to everything from here on in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yu.
Thank you, Mr. Moffat.
We're also looking forward for the cooperation in COP26, as well as our workshop and our collaboration. Selanjutnya kami persilahkan kepada Prof. Alandru untuk menyampaikan penjelasan perihal acara. Prof. Alandru, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming today. I can't see who's here. I'm assuming the audience is large. So it's been a long journey putting this workshop together. It started with the founding of the National Batteries Research Institute more than a year ago. But previous to that, Professor Evie and myself made plans together. And one of them was to found the NBRI. Her idea from years ago pulled together and made a reality as a result of our collaboration, which I think is a fabulous thing. And then looking at what the NBRI has achieved in the last year, I'm very proud of the team. So I think we start my talk by moving on to the next slide, please. Okay. So firstly, okay, back one. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Here we go. So firstly, I'd like to thank our 4 mentors for arriving today. I wasn't 100% sure what the plan was for them and whether we wanted to ask them to speak or not. I'm going to let others in the agenda decide that. But I would like to thank Professor Sir Colin Humphreys from Queen Mary University. He's got a long track record in research, previously from Cambridge, head of department there. He's got a long track record of honours after his name, including half a dozen different fellows of different societies, including the Royal Society in the UK. And he's won a number of different distinguished awards. I think if I listed them all here, then we'd be here all day. I'd also like to thank Professor Elizabeth Tanner, also from Queen Mary University of London, also recently moved here from University of Glasgow, but she was here previous, in Queen Mary previous to that, as a senior academic. She also has a long list of awards and titles after her name, including Fellow of the Royal Society of Edinburgh, Fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering, etc. Both of these people have got a long-standing research career with an interest in climate change, and are ideal mentors for our young researchers. I'd also like to thank Professor Edwin Adrian, who is a professor of BPPT. He works directly in climate change, in the form that he's the chair of the IPCC WG1, vice chair of the IPCC WG1, representing Indonesia and countries in Southwest Pacific region. And he's part of the IPCC outreach program. So he's completely in the area that we need to be in. And then finally, Professor Ana Zulfia, who's University of Indonesia, who has strong research interests in many areas that are relevant for this particular project, including lithium-ion batteries, sustainable materials and energy. And again, she's an ideal candidate for mentoring. So next slide, please. Okay, so why are we here, I think is the first thing that I'd like to ask. So if you look at this map, you can see that you can define lots of different vulnerabilities, but lots of different risks associated with climate change. You have cyclones, floods, landslides, droughts, and sea level rises. And if you look at the index, it goes from 0 to 1. No, please move back. Thank you. It goes from 0 to 1. And you can see immediately that almost all of Java is at the high end of that scale when it comes to risks of climate change, with most of the other islands, with the exception of perhaps Kalimantan and some of the eastern states, also higher than that list. So Indonesia is at risk to climate change, I think, is the take-home message here. Okay, next slide, please, or next transition. And even looking at just at flood risk, you can see here the red area of the graph of the map is the most at risk area for floods, and Jakarta is in it. Now, of course, there's some discussion and policy for Indonesia to move its capital to East Kalimantan, but that is still in its build stage, in its design stage, and it hasn't happened yet. But nonetheless, there's a real danger to Indonesia of sea rise levels in particular, and the populated region around the edge of the island. Okay, next slide, please. Now, when it comes to emissions in Indonesia, you can see immediately that the greenhouse gas emissions have steadily been increasing since the 1970s and probably before, essentially since Indonesia has been developing. And currently, Indonesia accounts for 9.2% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions, okay, which is a significant amount. It's more than the UK, and it's only half that of the US. Okay, so it's more than China. So, and in the next 10 years, there is a potential for that to increase further, as you can see from the graph on the left. And as a result, the Indonesian government have got some very lofty goals to reduce the climate, the CO2 emissions, to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. They want to reduce between 29 and 41% by 2030, so within 5 years. 9 years, compared to business as usual, which is an incredibly difficult target to reach. And so that is why we are here as a workshop. We want to try and help. We want to try and raise awareness. We want to try and address that. We want to train and capacity build our young researchers. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so one of the ways that you can do that is with electricity production from solar panels, which Indonesia has got a very good potential for. But the problem that you have is that the PV load, the green part of that chart, that's when the peak, that's the production. The green is the production. And you can see immediately that typically you make too much electricity around lunchtime, in the morning and the afternoon. And then in the evening, when you need it most, you don't make enough electricity. And the reason that you need it most is, for example, in the image below, where you can see lots and lots of air conditioning units on the side of a building in, I think it's Jakarta. Okay, so people come home, they switch on their air conditioning units, the load goes up. They turn on their, in their apartment building in Jakarta, they turn on their electric heating and the load goes up. Okay, so next part, please. So the solution is you have a power plant, which in this case is going to be solar power or wind power, as you can see in the image in the bottom right. And then you put that electricity into an energy storage facility when you make too much, around lunchtime. Okay, and then that energy can then be transferred back to the grid in the evening when you need it the most. And that's where batteries come in. You need an energy storage facility. And batteries have very high efficiencies, and if you get them right, can also be economically viable. Okay, next slide, please. One complexity is that Indonesia's policy and the world's policy is to electrify transport for good reasons. Unfortunately, when people get home from work, they plug in their cars and the load goes up. So there is you'll be charging batteries from batteries, which may not be the best solution. And actually, this is a completely unknown area of research, that this hasn't been put into consideration. That if you're going to electrify transport, how does that interact with the battery storage from photovoltaic cells? Because people are using their cars in the day. Okay, they're not plugging them into charge. So we need to think about how society will change in order to support electrified transport. Next slide, please. So what's the workshop about? Okay, so it has 3 specific themes. Okay, its title is Delivering a Battery Revolution, Reducing the Drivers of Climate Change in Indonesia. Okay, and it has 3 specific themes. The first one is addressing climate change specific to Indonesia, which is both cause and effect. The second one is a technological solution that combines renewable energy, which could be solar, wind, or hydrogen, for example, with batteries. And that's got to be put in the context into the battery revolution that's going on in Indonesia as well. It's a battery transport revolution. And then finally, socioeconomic policy and financial barriers to the climate change solutions in Indonesia, because they are many. We have to think about this from a broad picture. We cannot just look at the technical, scientific part. We've also got to look at the sociological policy and financial part of this. Next slide, please. Okay, so the climate change workshop is going to be run in 5 rough areas. Okay, rough areas. The first one is that we have early career research talks. The second one is plenary speakers. The third one is training. The fourth, well, training activities. The fourth one is a research funding bids. And then the fifth one is that we're going to give networking opportunities for Indonesian and UK people. So next transition. So as you probably can imagine, that the plenary speakers and the training activities that we're going to be taking are part of a training and capacity building exercise of Indonesian researchers. Next. Okay, so the research funding bids and the networking sessions are about international cooperation, about improving communications. And then finally, the early career research talks are about dissemination, a dissemination of the research that's already happening. Okay, next. So if you look at the international cooperation part, this research funding bids, we're going to have some research prizes, okay, where the early career researchers are going to be able to apply for funding to do a research project, so a specific research and original piece of research that involves batteries, climate change, and Indonesia. Okay, we'd like it to be international teams of scientists that are bidding for this money, where, if possible, we want to look at a multidisciplinary area. So we want to be looking at trying to get the science and the social sciences working together, or the finances, or the law, or the policy. Okay, and then the funding is going to be up to £8,000, which at today's exchange rate is roughly 160 million IDR. Okay, and we expect 4 prizes to be awarded, but not all at that level. Okay, next. We also have the ability for people who apply, put in an abstract to give a talk, early career researchers, to present their work at the workshop. And this will be the best talks will be selected for funding by the mentors and the conference team. And then we'll be able to attend an international conference of their choice, but it has to be relevant to climate change. And the idea is that they can then present their research work to the world to improve their the visibility of their research, and also I would guess it's also part of a training and capacity building exercise, because it gives them the exposure to go to international conference that otherwise may not be able to afford to go to. For this, it's up to £2,000 per person, which is at today's exchange rate roughly 40 million IDR. And we expect to make at least 5 awards. Obviously, when I say expect 4 prizes or 5 awards, it does come down to the budget. If we get, if everyone, for example, chooses to put in £1,500 bids for the dissemination award, then we'll have some additional funding to award an additional prize. An additional person can then go. We can make that 6 people. And then finally, I'd like to tell you what the next slide. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, this has messed up the. I'm sorry about the formatting here. It wasn't like that on my computer. Okay, so finally, the eligibility. The eligibility, we're defining early career researchers as PhD students, research staff with a maximum of 5 years post-PhD experience, or research qualified to a master's level or equivalent with a maximum of 8 years PhD, 8 years experience. And we would like to have Indonesian or UK residents. Like I say, I apologise for the formatting there. And I do believe that's the end of my segment of the talk, and I now hand over to the floor.
Terima kasih Prof. Alandru. Berikutnya kami persilahkan kepada Profesor Dr. Evi Kartini untuk menyampaikan perihal pelaksanaan acara. Profesor Evi Kartini, waktu dan tempat kami persilahkan.
Okay, thank you, Subhan, for the introduction. First of all, I would like to thank the greatest thanks to the British Council Country Director, Mr. Moffat. Thank you also for giving the opening remark to this conference press. And then Professor Alandru, chairman of this workshop, distinguished mentors, Professor Sir Colin Humphrey, Professor Elizabeth Tanner, Professor Anna Julfia, and Professor Edwin Adrian, who are supporting for this workshop, conference partner, and all distinguished guests. Before I begin, I want to convey that it is indeed a deep honor and a great pleasure that National Battery Research Institute being trusted by British Council and Queen Mary University of London to organize this event, as well as the continued support from the Queen Mary University of London towards NBRI. Based on our common understanding and perspective, NBRI has always taken its relation with the United Kingdom as one of priorities. As close partners, we also would like to congratulate United Kingdom as a hosting country for the upcoming COP26, which will be taken place in Glasgow, UK. We hope that this climate change challenge workshop will bring together the UK and Indonesia bilateral cohort of early career researchers and also harness the power of people all over the world, particularly young people and those most vulnerable to the effect of climate change, to connect and collaborate through innovation research idea to take climate change. Okay, I will speak also partly Indonesian. Can you start the presentation? Okay, so Prof. Alan already mentioned about the climate change, how important the climate change for Indonesia, for all over the world, yes. At first, for Indonesia itself, the presidential decree number 55 2019, jadi ada peraturan presiden 2009 nomor 55 2019 menyampaikan bahwa Indonesia akan mengurangi carbon dioxide. Ya, jadi itu sudah di state sama presiden, sehingga ada beberapa kegiatan yaitu untuk menggunakan electric vehicle. Jadi ini sangat-sangat penting sekali electric vehicle and also renewable energy. Ya, tadi Prof. Alan sudah menyampaikan two part, renewable energy and electric vehicle is two most action that will be done by Indonesian government. Yeah, okay. As already mentioned also by Professor Alan, as the chair of the workshop, there will be two events. Yes, the event here. First, this is about the research prize. Maybe it is small. So the research prize will start. Actually, we already launched the research prize in April. So the commencement of the deadline will be on the 25th of May. Yes. So what we expect, so the 20th of May, we expect that some the participants already apply to this register to attend to join this research prize. Then we will have the mingle time, gathering time, or networking time on the 25th of May, where at the time we gather the researcher, the participant from UK and Indonesia. Dalam rangka apa? Ini perlu sekali ada pertemuan di antara kedua partisipan dari Indonesia dan Inggris supaya ada so they can make a joint proposal. Ya, jadi apa proposal karena we encourage to have the international collaboration. Ya, kemudian then they can prepare after they find a matching partner from Indonesia and UK. So they can make a proposal. We will give time about 1 month, yeah, and then the 22nd of June. So the proposal will be accepted. But of course, during this preparation, we expect that the mentors also can help on improvement, yeah, improvement about the proposal, guide them to make a good proposal, a good idea. So this is what the mentors be, yeah. And then we will have the selection. Of course, the mentor and the team will have the selection for the best 10 candidate to be invited for a presentation at the workshop on the 22nd to 24th of July. Then we will select the best for winner, where they, from based on this proposal, the idea, and then the theme that's involving that climate change, the EV or the battery or the renewable, and also the social economy, and also So that the winner will have to start the proposal, the work for about 8 months from starting August to end of February. So we will receive also the result in March. And for dissemination award, jadi ada dua. Yang dissemination award ini agak lebih mudah karena kita akan menyeleksi peneliti muda yang sudah melakukan riset yang terkait tadi climate change dan tema-tema ini, kemudian mengirimkan abstrak, kemudian pada tanggal 22 Juni, kemudian abstraknya dikumpulkan, ya, they have to submit the abstract up to 22nd of June, and then we make selection. Maybe we will select until 10, the best one, and then we will invite them for make the presentation during the workshop, and then at that time we will have also the evaluation, and we'll find the 5 best presenter. So tentu saja karena di sini memberi kesempatan untuk conference, jadi diberikan mereka harus menyampaikan kepada conference mana akan di deliver, ya, itu salah satunya. So in both dissemination prize and dissemination award, the mentors play really a vital role in these things, because they will need to evaluate, and then they will need also to mentoring them, and also to select which one is the best. I think it is one. Okay, next. Okay, this is the mandatory by law number 16 of 2016 concerning the ratification of the Paris Agreement of the UNFC. Indonesia commit to reducing exhaust gas emission up to 29% from its own effort, 41%. That's I mentioned already. Yes. Therefore, in the government acts that all the electric vehicle will be maybe 40%. Will be running in Indonesia in 2030. Yes, of course, that's need of the battery, and also from the report that increasing the electric vehicle, it will reduce actually the carbon dioxide directly. Yeah, because the use of fuel, fossil fuel is reducing. Okay, this is the presidential decree. Yes, that is mentioned. And also I should mention about 31% of Indonesia using the renewable energy, but has not been achieved this target by the Ministry of Mineral Resources. Yeah, still 9%. So it means that the use of it's open, really open for all the Indonesian to use the renewable energy, because we still need to increase that target. Yes, about 20%. Okay, next. Okay, well, at last, I would like to introduce what the NBRI. NBRI is the Center of Excellent Innovation of Battery and Renewable Energy Foundation that's supporting research, training, and education. So our vision, together all Indonesian stakeholders in battery research and production, to help strong national battery research and also renewable energy, increase the visibility of battery research at government level. This workshop will explain potential solutions to reducing causes of Indonesian-driven climate change, such as battery-backed renewable energy, electrification, transport, etc. Also identify scalable battery renewable energy technology that can tackle climate change. So the other, I should mention that I'm on behalf of the founder of NBRI, and also Prof. Alan as the co-founder of NBRI. Thank for the trust from British Council to run this event, to us. Okay, next. Oke. Jadi tadi saya sampaikan yang terakhir adalah National Battery Research Institute bentuknya adalah yayasan, yayasan yang untuk membantu di bidang baterai dan renewable energy. Kita akan mensupport government, private seperti ini yang dijalankan, karena kita NBRI ini mempunyai vision. We have the same vision with the global challenge climate workshop, yes, with the British Council and with others. Therefore, we are in line and we support this event. Okay, maybe that is from me. And the other things if there is still some mentorship, maybe a few words from the mentors before we go to the question and answer. Maybe Prof. please, or Prof. Anna, and also Prof. Edwin.
Hello. I see we've also got Sir Colin Humphreys here as well.
Okay.
So on behalf of one half of the Queen Mary mentoring team, I'm very much looking forward to joining this procedure. I think it's going to be really interesting and really exciting. And as someone who was at Glasgow and has used the Scottish Exhibition and Conference Centre, I know how exciting it's going to be if we can get some of the people to attend the COP26 in person later this year. So thank you very much for inviting me to join. And I'm very much looking forward to the work and meeting the young people. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Liz.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe for the next, there is Prof. Prof.
Would you like me to say a few words?
Please, Prof. Colin.
Right. So it's a great pleasure to be involved in this ambitious and important program. And if you would look at the top 3 future technologies which are really important, then I think batteries would be in the top 3, because they might be the top 1, because it's such an important topic for energy storage, as Professor Alan Drew has said, but also for electric vehicles. So really important. And it's important that Indonesia is involved in this, in research and development, and also in the manufacture in the future. So I think this project has a lot of potential, and it's a great pleasure to be a mentor to the people involved in this important research project. I've got to go down to another meeting, but it's a pleasure to be involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Colin. Thank you. Thank you also for his support. Okay. Okay, for the next, Prof. Edwin Aldrian.
Yes. Should I speak in English or Indonesia?
Well, please, which one you prefer?
Okay, thank you. I think this is a very nice opportunity for me to be involved in the partnership in this uh, climate challenge. It's a battery research institute. I myself working as a scientist in BPPT, know BPPT and Batan, the agency for Professor Ivy, they become joining institution in the coming years. But I also work for the IPCC as the IPCC Working Group 1 Vice Chair. I work very much for the climate change, and then this initiative for making a climate challenge for battery technology and material is very challenging for me. As I know that people will understand that the future of our life in the daily business will be rely on very much on the battery technology. The handheld that we hold every day is a smart system, and many things. Our laptop, our cars become very common with battery, and then other transportation energy system. Because we still don't face the problem with unmodular system. So very much our transport system is very modular. So because our transport system is very modular, then our battery system is also very modular. But right now, people are always thinking of making battery which is last longer, and then climate friendly as well. Climate friendly here, additionally, not only you can waste the battery product to the environment, but also that possibility to absorb more carbon dioxide from the environment. So usually we face a problem with wasting battery. Now, hopefully that in the coming years, the technology can also save our emission, save our carbon dioxide, and save our carbon tax and carbon trade. So a lot of people will also now facing this kind of problem. So what we may have today by this climate challenge is very much in line with this aim. I welcome very much this kind of competition, and I hope that either from UK or from Indonesia will come up with something good innovation. So the innovation for our daily life and our product, I really welcome this very much. Thank you for everybody for informing me in this project. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Prof. Edwin, for your introducing and then also explaining about the climate change and vehicle in Indonesia. Okay, thank you also for support us. For the last, Prof. Anna, please.
Okay, all right, thank you. First, if I would like to thank Prof. Alan who have involved me to join with this climate challenge workshop, which will be conducted in July. I'm quite happy to join with this as a mentor. And also, I would like to thank to British Council, Mr. Hugh Moffatt, to give a funding for this program. First of all, I would like to tell you that I've got a lot of research funding from the government about the research battery. So perhaps in this workshop, I want to introduce the materials for the lithium-ion battery, such as for the anode and the cathode, in order to improve the performance of the battery. I will teach about the material that can improve the performance of the battery in this workshop. So this program, I think, is quite a good program for Indonesian British to have joint collaboration especially for the young scientists. So we have this program to introduce for our young generation, our young scientists to join with this program in Indonesia and UK. So perhaps in the future we can have a good environment for the world. With this climate challenge, perhaps we can have a clean environment for all over the world. So I'm quite happy to join for this program. Thank Prof. Alan who have support this proposal to a British Council. And then first, if I would like to thank to NBRL as a founder for this program as well. So thank you very much indeed for this collaboration between Indonesia and UK. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Anna, for really supporting us, yes, in the beginning. And I hope that all your young students, young PhD students can join, yes?
Yes,
more
course.
Indonesia. So we should mentor them and then make a good idea for making a better Indonesia, better the world. Okay, thanks for all the mentors. Then I think all the opening and then introduction about the workshop and also the mentors speech are already done. So I give back to the moderator. Please, Supran. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all the moderator, also Prof. Effie for the explanation. But before we move to the question and answer session, let me introduce you to Mrs. Granty Paramita from British Council to summarize the speech from Mr. Yu Moffat. Ms. Granty, the time is yours.
Ya, terima kasih Mas Suhan. Selamat sore, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Perkenalkan nama saya Granty Paramita. Saat ini bekerja di British Council untuk program manager di Departemen Science. Mungkin saya very quick saja karena untuk menyampaikan beberapa summary terkait dengan key points dari speech dari British Council Country Director kami yaitu Hugh Moffat. Jadi tadi poin yang Bapak Hugh sampaikan itu yang pertama adalah British Council sangat terbuka sekali lebar untuk mengundang lebih banyak researcher, early career researcher untuk berpartisipasi pada berbagai program climate change yang akan diadakan di tahun 2021 ini. British Council sebagai organisasi yang bukan specializing di climate change, kami tapi adalah organisasi yang specializing untuk connecting people around the world. Jadi melalui tiga lini kerja kami yaitu education atau pendidikan, program pendidikan, lalu ada bahasa Inggris dan juga kesenian untuk berpartisipasi secara aktif dalam persiapan COP26 yang akan diselenggarakan di Glasgow bulan November ini. British Council akan meluncurkan suatu program bernama Climate Connection. Untuk Climate Connection ini memang target sasaran utamanya adalah anak muda dan juga ada dua approach yang akan kami galakkan melalui program ini. Yang pertama adalah dialog dan juga action dan juga untuk beberapa program pendidikan. Ada tiga topik utama yang akan diusung oleh Climate Connection ini. Yang pertama adalah Discovery Content School, jadi ada program-program untuk engaging ke sekolah-sekolah dan juga ke kampus-kampus. Yang kedua adalah Sharing Collaboration, dan ini bentuknya adalah exchanging new ideas. Dan di mana di sini harapannya kami adalah untuk enabling action. Artinya di sini mungkin ada beberapa grants, utamanya mungkin yang Bapak Ibu lihat salah satunya di dalam komponen workshop ini ada Dissemination Award dan juga Research Prize. Itu adalah bentuk-bentuk grants yang kami sediakan juga dalam bentuk support kami. Dan juga yang terakhir memang kami menekankan untuk actions gitu di dalam semua program-program yang kami develop seperti itu. Dan beliau juga menyampaikan bahwa program Researcher Links Climate Challenge ini adalah merupakan salah satu bentuk kolaborasi program untuk mendukung misi Inggris atau United Kingdom untuk menurunkan emisi target di tahun 2050 untuk mencapai 2050. Dan RLCC, jadi kami menyebutnya RLCC adalah salah satu program yang didesain untuk leading up ke COP26. Jadi sebenarnya RLCC ini tidak hanya ada di Indonesia, tapi juga ada di berbagai negara seperti Brazil, Vietnam, Mesir, dan juga South Africa. Nah, di situ around the world kita akan memiliki series of workshop. Selain itu juga Bapak Hugh menyampaikan congratulations untuk National Battery Research Institute dengan Queen Mary University of London atas kerjasamanya dan untuk hosting workshop yang sangat bermanfaat untuk addressing climate change challenge ini. Seperti itu. Kami ingin melihat lebih banyak researcher early career yang siap untuk take action dari Indonesia maupun dengan UK dan melihat mereka teaming up dan juga untuk bekerja sama untuk addressing the challenge in Indonesia seperti itu. Untuk hal yang terakhir, beliau juga menyampaikan mudah-mudahan researcher Indonesia dapat mengakses banyak expertise dari workshop ini karena workshop ini menawarkan banyak expert yang tadi ini ya dari mentor-mentornya sudah diperkenalkan. Selain itu juga bisa mengakses dana-dana supporting atau grants dalam bentuk research prize dan juga dissemination award. Mungkin akhir kata terima kasih dari British Council dan selamat sore. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Bu Granti.
Terima kasih Bu Granti atas pemaparannya. Berikutnya akan kami lanjutkan kepada sesi tanya jawab. Sebelum sesi tanya jawab dimulai, saya ingatkan sekali lagi, untuk sesi tanya jawab, rekan media diharapkan untuk menggunakan menu raise hand pada menu Zoom, dan panitia akan memilih. Awak media yang telah ditunjuk dipersilahkan memperkenalkan diri dan perusahaannya, beserta pertanyaan secara singkat, serta kepada siapa pertanyaan ditujukan. Untuk sesi tanya jawab pertama, 3 pertanyaan pertama akan kami buka. Untuk awak media yang telah berpartisipasi, kami persilahkan untuk bertanya. Silahkan menggunakan menu raise hand, angkat tangan pada menu Zoom. Lalu panitia akan memilih. Setelah itu akan kami persilahkan kepada para media untuk memperkenalkan diri.
Bisa dalam bahasa Indonesia juga mungkin. Pertanyaannya bisa di dalam bahasa Indonesia.
Ya, awak media untuk pertanyaannya bisa menggunakan bahasa Indonesia. Baik, Bapak Jackson Simajuntak, dipersilahkan.
Terima kasih, selamat siang buat Mas Suban sebagai moderator, Bu Evi juga, Pak Alan, dan semua narasumber yang hadir di acara Zoom meeting ini. Perkenalkan, saya Jackson Simanjuntak, itu dari beritalingkungan.com dan juga bantu-bantu di ekotorial.com. Saya ingin bertanya spesifik kepada Bu Evi terkait dengan rencana National Battery Research ini ya untuk kayak membuat mengundang periset muda melakukan terobosan terkait dengan baterai yang lebih peduli terhadap lingkungan seperti itu. Nah, yang menjadi pertanyaan saya, Bu, apakah di dalam kegiatan yang akan berlangsung ini juga dipikirkan terkait dengan residunya gitu, Bu? Karena kita tahu bahwa limbah baterai itu juga kan termasuk dalam kategori B3 kalau nggak salah ya. Gitu. Nah, ketika kita ingin menghasilkan energi yang bersih, ternyata kan di sisi lain tuh ada produk sampingannya kayak gitu, Bu, terkait dengan limbahnya sendiri. Nah, untuk itu kira-kira seperti apa, Bu?
Baik,
Itu sih. Terima kasih,
ya.
Bu.
Terima kasih pertanyaannya Pak Jackson Simanjuntak. Jadi baik saya sampaikan bahwa baru saja tadi pagi kita ada meeting dengan berbagai institusi riset ya dan universitas yang melakukan riset baterai. Jadi kalau pernah mendengar circular economy ya, itu jadi kalau riset baterai itu dari mulai kita mungkin ekstraksi mineral, kemudian dijadikan material cathode, kemudian dijadikan baterai, kemudian jadi sel baterai, kemudian jadi pack, kemudian ditaruh di atau di solar energy storage atau di electric vehicle, kemudian digunakan. Setelah sekian lama itu akan menjadi baterai bekas ya. Pertanyaannya tadi, apakah kita buang atau kita recycle? Jadi akan dilakukan recycle ya. Jadi ini sudah diantisipasi dan ada riset, ada bagian riset yang hilir yang nanti akan jadi hulu lagi. Jadi kalau di awal kita masih extracting dari mineralnya, kemudian later on mungkin separuhnya itu yang pertama kalau sudah digunakan mobil itu masih bisa digunakan untuk storage. Nah, kemudian kalau sudah tidak bisa digunakan lagi, di recycle, diambillah bahan-bahan yang tadi, ya, recycle, kemudian ada prosesnya, ada leaching, kemudian diambil nikel mangan kobaltnya, kemudian diambil aluminiumnya, diambil casingnya, sehingga bisa digunakan lagi untuk reuse, ya. Jadi itu jawabannya. Jadi dan termasuk juga itu sudah dipikirkan oleh nanti Baterai Holding Indonesia itu yang BUMN bahwa setelah penggunaan itu ada recycle. Jadi recycle proses sudah dipikirkan dan ada tim penelitinya yang dari BPPT dan dari perindustrian dan juga dari UGM melakukan riset ini. Mungkin itu Pak Simanjuntak.
Terima kasih Bu Evi.
Ya.
Untuk pertanyaan selanjutnya kami persilahkan. Okay, for the Mr. Hugh Moffat, thank you for your attendance to this today conference. We do really appreciate your attendance to our conference, and we are looking forward to our future collaboration with the British Council. Untuk teman-teman media, kami persilahkan untuk memberikan pertanyaan, baik dalam Indonesia maupun dalam bahasa Inggris.
Atau mungkin di chat juga, nggak apa-apa ditulis. Ya.
Baik, sambil menunggu kami akan menjelaskan untuk segala informasi terkait dengan Climate Challenge Workshop ini juga tersedia di lini website kami di n-bri.org/climate-challenge-workshop. Kami juga memiliki lini Instagram di NBRI Indonesia. Tutup aja. Baik, sepertinya kami rasa tidak ada yang bertanya. Ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end of this press conference. Bapak Ibu yang terhormat, akhirnya kita sampai pada penghujung press conference hari ini. This means that the Climate Challenge Workshop with the theme of Delivering Battery Revolution, Reducing the Drivers of Climate Change in Indonesia has officially opened. Dengan demikian, Climate Challenge Workshop dengan tema Delivering Battery Revolution, Reducing the Driver Challenge in Indonesia telah resmi dibuka. We would like to say thank you for the British Council Country Director, Hugh Moffat, Prof. Alan Drew, Workshop Chair and Co-Founder of NBRI, Prof. Evi Kartini, as a founder of NBRI and Vice Chair of this workshop, distinguished mentors, and all the media and participants who are attended today. Kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak Hugh Moffat, selaku British Council Country Director to Indonesia, pada Prof. Alan Drew, selaku Ketua dari workshop serta co-founder dari NBRI, untuk Profesor Dr. Evi Kartini, selaku founder NBRI serta Vice Chair of this workshop, untuk para mentor serta para awak media yang telah berpartisipasi hari ini. Akhir kata, saya tutup press conference ini. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you, Supan. Thank you all. Thank you, Prof. Alan. Thank you, Prof. Anna, Prof. Edwin, Bu Granty, Mr. Moffat, and all the media. Okay. Now the Climate Challenge Workshop officially launched. Yes. Yeah. Prof. Alan, still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody,
Okay.
for coming today. It's a great pleasure to work with everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Prof. Liz. Yes. So we'll contact you later, and yeah, we'll discuss and review all about the participant. And we expect that we can still promote this to UK university, yes, and also the Indonesian and all the institution. Yeah, that's we expect more young early career researcher join this program. Yeah, thank you for the British Council team too. Yes, Queen Mary team. Alan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Prof.
Okay, thank you, Alan.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Anna.
Thank you, Prof.
Prof.
Evi.
Anna. Thank you, Prof.
Agent
Edwin.
Liv. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Prof. Liz.